Happy holidays. What's up, guys? GeorgeTheCloud here. My name's Jorge, aka George. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. Today we have an interesting video because it is an interview. I don't usually react to interviews. I can if people request them, but it doesn't happen often. And this is a special request by Raymundo. Thank you so much for the coffee, for becoming a Patreon and a supporter. You know, just the other day I reacted to the entire Tigerlily album by Natalie Merchant. It's up on my channel right now. And he himself said he enjoyed the analysis, that it was great, incredible. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad, you enjoyed it and people found it, positive, I guess. We're checking out the Tigerlily video press kit, June 19th, 1995 interview. When this came out, I was 1 month old, just a baby. I didn't know that 30 years later I would be out here doing reactions to this video. A video press kit released by Elektra Records on June 19th, 1995 to promote Natalie Merchant's debut solo album Tigerlily. Includes clips of Natalie talking about her new record, as well as footage of photo shoots, studio recording sessions, and early solo concert footage. Fair enough? Let's do it. Grab some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. And we go. Ernie Fritz. 9:45 a.m.
I'm leaving evidence. I'm being a witness, and I'm leaving evidence of my time, of who I was, of the people around me, of my culture, my country, the world. I was involved with 10,000 Maniacs for 12 years, so it's hard to not ask,
For 12 years?
Maniacs for 12 years, so it's hard to not ask, what happened? Why did you leave? I wanted to have a more solid vision, a more private vision, a more, singular vision.
That's fair.
Along about the summer of last year, I decided I was ready to start working with some musicians. Peter, the drummer, was the first person I started working with, and we'd been friends for, I think, 2 years already. And then this young woman, Jennifer Turner, showed up like a cyclone one day. This crazy girl who had only been playing electric guitar for a year and only playing acoustic guitar for, I think, 4 years.
For a year?
And then the bass player, Barry McGuire, came up and played with us a couple days, and I liked working with him. It was a really good group of people, and that was the group of people that played on the record. I hired a new manager, lawyer, accountant, all those, people that are necessary.
Just a quick thought here. Them going into the music shop and checking out the different like drum kits, the instrument, the basses, that is like such a satisfying feeling, right? Like for myself, I'm assuming even more so for a musician, it's like a kid in a candy store, right? It's just like, oh, we're gonna start this huge project, we're gonna work on this album, so many songs, so many stories, so many things to tell, and we're just kind of putting the band together and getting the instruments, and we're gonna buy everything fresh, and it's like that freshness. And so I do agree with her. I mean, of course, I can't disagree. But in the way she was telling us why she left 10,000 Maniacs, it happens all the time with people. You're 12 years with the same group, you have your own vision, your own things to tell. Then maybe it's time to start a new chapter. Get a new group going and work on a different project. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be dramatic or like, oh, that something bad happened. I don't think so. Not necessarily. It's just maybe even like a relationship. You're free to like kind of stop it at a certain point and then move on.
lawyer, accountant, all those, people that are necessary. And in addition to all those changes that were going on, I decided to buy a house, which I'd always been a renter. So that was a big change. And when I bought the house, I sort of had this fantasy in mind of having a studio and a rehearsal space and enough bedrooms and floor space to put a whole band and have a band work together and live together. And so that's what we did.
Nice.
So it was more like having a house full of teenagers at times.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it. Some people didn't ever think of basic things like rinsing dishes. And I had a thing about wet towels on wooden floors and those sort of things. I think
wet towels on wooden floor. What kind of maniac, no pun intended, would do that? I mean, I can see it. I'm sure Natalie's very organized, serious person when it comes to things like this, order, and especially it's her brand new house, so you need some rules. And getting the whole band in there, people are gonna have their own way of doing things, their attitude, but it's definitely a good way to learn from each other, get used to each other's presence, your personality, and that definitely translates well into creating music together.
Basically, we made it through wars and those sort of things. I think basically we made it through.
Where are you tonight, first of all?
Amherst College.
I think Natalie had this idea to do this thing that...
Is that in Massachusetts?
So many artists I know are always, well, before we make the album, let's go try the songs out in front of an audience so we can learn more about, are they communicating, but she's the person who actually did it.
So what are you doing in here? We're getting ready to kill the house lights from back in here.
So we sort of chose about 12 colleges as kind of a control group to find out what the material was like.
Love it, why?
Really sounded solid, really good.
I'm just getting in in my head, I'm thinking, if I were a college student in 1995 and I was just hanging out with some friends and it's just oh yeah, let's check out Natalie Merchant, she's gonna play some songs for us tonight, and it's Friday night, you have the weekend, and you're done listening to that music, which is so nutritious in a spiritual type of way, especially that song she was playing, and it's just you go to the concert, you're done, and that feeling, I don't know, I felt that feeling. I was wow, I wish that could have happened. And thinking about society back in the day, no cell phones, no social media, no technology, just living in the moment. God.
Really sounded solid, really good. Well, Bearsville sounded good, believe it or not, but this sounded, just 10 times better.
The real important thing is I tend to leave the lyric writing to the last minute, and it was humiliating to sing gibberish.
Really?
Leave the lyric writing to the The real important thing is I tend to leave the lyric writing to the last minute.
I tend to leave the lyric writing to the last minute? I would think that would be the first thing she did, so I'm surprised.
And it was humiliating to sing gibberish in front of a couple thousand people a night. There were only a few songs that weren't finished, but it was enough that it kicked me in the butt, made me go home and start finishing lyrics, but then I ended up 2 of the songs weren't finished until the last day of mixing.
Wow.
The tour that we did of the colleges was in November, and then the 1st of December we started recording. I wanted to work at Woodstock. I'd made a record there before, and it's a great place to work. I couldn't imagine making an album in an urban setting. I could mix a record in the city, but I can't sing in the city.
It's like a Zamba dance. Or Samba. That cowbell.
I was trying to avoid all the pitfalls that I've seen other artists fall into when they leave a band that they've been with for years. I didn't want to have, 20 African drummers and a string quartet and a horn section. Here's my opportunity to have the biggest production I could ever imagine. 1, 2, 3. I wanted a record that sounded like, not the songs sounding retro, but I wanted the actual sounds to sound like this record was made in the late 60s, early 70s.
Saturday afternoon romance.
So we chose a lot of the equipment that we used was vintage equipment.
Between a cowboy and
Fascinating.
a fool.
A lot of the microphones that we used were very old. I sang through a ribbon microphone that was from the 50s at one point.
Beat up, boots and blue. Poor Rocky Mountain.
I guess to that point, it could be that now that is in my head. But from the late 60s, early 70s, I reacted to another album by Joni Mitchell, and I kind of see a little bit of similarities in that sense. Their singing voices and the instruments they were playing, but also the vibe of just kind of letting go, playing music from your heart about real personal things. And I kind of see it a little bit. Maybe she's a fan of Joni Mitchell. Who knows?
Poor Rocky Mountain. He's a scoundrel and she's no.
To be playing the piano and singing, there's a connection there that you can't imitate that when you try to go in and overdub. So even though I didn't enunciate things as well as I might have if I went in and tried to sing it perfectly, I left it. Carnival is
Just leave it.
I think, a way for me to express my view of the city and the urban scape and how illogical this place is and how actually insane it is that you have 8 million people living on an island, I don't know how many square miles, with people all stacked up on top of each other and everything having to be brought in through tunnels and over bridges. It's not a very logical way to live. I think most people in our culture, in America, receive their poetry through music, and mostly pop music. There was a period of time when I tried to belittle what I did, and it's only pop music, and it's not serious art or anything like that. And I try not to get too serious about it, but it's definitely important and it affects people. And the only thing that I've tried to maintain is a level of craft in what I do. And because if someone is going to listen to my record enough that they're going to memorize the lyrics, I want them to be lyrics that are worthwhile. I would think that 50 years from now, if someone listens to Carnival, they might hear something in it that would tell them what it was like to be who I am in the place that I'm living now. I think it's an incredible privilege to be able to be an artist and to be able to make a living. I feel like I'm in a really tiny percentile of people who are able to do a job not only that they enjoy, but that they couldn't imagine doing anything else, which is where I am now. And I think the ability to choose the people that I work with and when I work and how I work just puts me into an even tinier percentile. I just feel really blessed, really lucky.
The outro with the guitar. Amazing. Even the interview is amazing. First things first, we hit the like. I am subscribed to Natalie, and I'll have a link of the original video down in the description below. You know, I have this thing, maybe someone else can relate, where I'm an artist myself. I'm an illustrator. I have my family, a lot of musicians and artists as well. And so I feel like I have that in my blood, where I am more, like, I guess, connected to what I do. I try to put more effort, or like it weighs on my mind a lot more. Like I take it seriously. And also along with that, I get attached to people, to places, to things really fast, more than I would want to, because it sucks. You know, obviously I wish it didn't. I wish it was the opposite. One of those people that can just kind of, you know, get up and move and go anywhere and not have them like things bother them and stuff like that. But to me, I have like this thing that's, yeah, I get attached, and I feel nostalgia even for, you know, things that I've never seen before, places that I've never been and stuff like that. So going back, you know, in this channel to the 60s, 70s, 80s, I get this connection when I watch those videos. And this is one of those, because it was an interview. We saw, you know, different shots and her talking about her perspective. And I'm thinking, it's 1995. So now I have this attachment, and I wish that I was alive. I mean, I was, but I was born in 95. So I wish that I was, you know, like one of the college students that went to see her concert and got to listen to her music in the 90s, because I mean, I could do it now. Maybe I can still go to but it's not the same. It's just like, I really put myself in that situation, and it gets stuck, and I'm like, why can't I time travel? But yeah, one of the key things that she said at the end is that she takes pride in her craft. And I think that's a really good way to describe, you know, what makes her stand out as a musician. It's her craftsmanship. She said how she at some point tried to belittle her work because it was, you know, something like pop music and stuff like that. I guess technically it is pop, but it's a pop, it's like a subgenre pop that definitely has more meaning, because commercial pop, it's just, you know, about that hit, and you try to get addicted to it, and the lyrics are maybe like mumbo jumbo. It's just for the sake of, you know, getting you to move around, to dance to. So it's not that deep. But with Natalie, I feel like her music is super deep and serious. Even if she says, you know, she doesn't think she's that serious, I think she is. And as a person, I could see it in the interview. This is exactly how I expected her to like talk in the interview. I see her as an intellectual, somebody who is, you know, laser focused, organized, and stuff like that. And this is the demeanor that, you know, I was prepared to see. So man, the way she explained it was, and that's the thing, her talking, it's one time I described her as like a teacher. She reminds me of when I was young and I moved to the US at 8 years old, and I had to learn everything, you know, from scratch, society, the way of living, everything. And the teachers there at the school that I went to were so, you know, special, and they tried their best for me to learn, for anyone. But I just remember, and I connect Natalie to like a teacher in the way she talks, she speaks, she explains the information, her poetic way of songwriting and stuff like that. So man, high respect and I really enjoyed the different shots of, you know, the studio, New York City, how she explained Carnival. From the album, I'm still gonna say that, oh man, I went to, hold on, it's my favorite song. I think it's Wonder, and close second is probably Carnival. I think they made the right choice by putting those and the other one as singles. Man, I'm learning here about Natalie, and I am having fun. So if you guys have more suggestions, please comment down below. Subscribe. Thank you so much, Raymundo, again for the support. And at the end, do a flip. Till the next.